Hey friends, so today this is going to be a story time. I see them all over YouTube and I thought maybe I'd do one myself. So this one is going to be my first time taking an AWS certification exam. So I don't want to say I'm a bad test taker because I don't want to put that into the universe, but I have a lot of testing anxiety. I don't know why that is. I think maybe I'm Jamaican. My mother is Jamaican. Any immigrant kid knows, like, you know, if you come home and you get like a 99 on a test, you know, most likely your parents are going to be like, Chuck, you couldn't get 100. So it just puts a lot of pressure on you, you know, when you go into any like exam situation to get 100% or do the best you possibly could. And if you don't, you know, the world will collapse. So it took me a really long time to get into the mindset that like, it's okay. Like if I go, I'm going to go in here, do my best, and whatever it is, you know, it's fine. I'll deal with it. So my first time taking the AWS exam, you know, you have to schedule them online and you go to the testing center. So the weeks leading up to it, you know, I'd been studying, I had been teaching, you know, the classes through the nonprofit. I was kind of, you know, getting the hang of it, doing really well on the practice exams. And then, you know, the test day comes and there's a little bit of anxiety, but I'm like, you know what, it's good. I'm taking these tests, making my flashcards, it's all good. I'm gonna do really well. So I get to the testing center and I park, and then it hits me, you know, like all the anxiety just hits me all at once. It's everything, you know, palms sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, all of it. The only thing that didn't happen was I didn't throw up, but I was close. So I walked into the building and ended up walking back out to my car just to kind of, you know, breathe, center myself a little bit, and think about, you know, what would Oprah do? You know, would she be in here breathing into a paper bag? No, she would get herself together and she would go back in there and show this test who's the boss. So that's what I did. So I went in there. You have to show your ID, and I think you have to like sign like a non-disclosure or something. And you know, you go and you sit down at your computer, and they give you a code, you know, for your exam. And my code wasn't working, so I was like, oh man, this is not meant to be. Like, I'm not meant to take the test today. I should just go home. So I go back out and I tell the proctor, like, hey, you know, my code's not working. Should I just leave? Should I just give up? And she was like, no, girl, it happens all the time. These computers are old. Sit down and take your test. So I sat down, started, and immediately I was like seeing questions that I recognized. I was like feeling good. I was like, all right, this is good. I got this. Like, I know these questions. Like, oh my gosh, look at me. Like, I'm gonna pass this test. So I get to the last question and I'm like, did I fail this test? Because this was not as stressful as I had built it up in my head to be. But I pushed submit, and they ask you like some follow-up questions, which is so annoying because I'm like, did I pass this exam or not? I don't want to be asked, you know, I don't want to answer any of your, you know, survey questions. And it's like questions about how they can improve the exam experience or whatever. So I answered that and I pushed submit and I passed. And it was like, hoo-wee, thank God. So, you know, I passed the exam, go back out, tell the lady, and she's like, oh, you know, congratulations. And, you know, I go home and like go to sleep or whatever. That was the Certified Developer Associate. So I passed that one on my first try, and I was really excited about it. Have not passed an AWS exam since. I think I've taken like 3 of them. I've taken the SysOps exam twice and failed it. I've taken the Solutions Architect once and failed it. And, you know, I'm getting better now at the process of like getting rid of the testing anxiety and realizing that it is just a test. My mother will still be proud of me, whether I fail it or not. The solar system won't, you know, collapse. Gravity won't cease to exist. Like, it's fine. I'm learning that, you know, failure is another type of learning. Like, you just kind of learn how to, you know, recalibrate and do it again. One of the things that I found really helpful is just like practice exams. I've always been like a flashcard person. I made some flashcards on Quizlet. Speaking of Quizlet, I do have a discount code because now they have these certification packs. I think they have the A+, the networking plus. They're going to have the IT fundamentals in a couple of weeks. So if you're looking to transition into tech, IT fundamentals is a really good place to start, and Quizlet will offer those study packs for you. I'm currently studying for the Security Plus exam. Don't judge me. I haven't been consistent with it, but I'll get back on board with it. And Quizlet has been a great resource because you can make flashcards, quiz yourself, make, you know, practice tests to really, you know, get that confidence up before you go into the testing situation and all your anxiety is all over the place. At least if you're prepared, you can go in and know, all right, this anxiety is a lie. Like, I've got this, I'm taking the test, and, you know, whatever the outcome is, it's good. So back to my AWS, I passed the first one. AWS have these conferences every year. There's a big one called reInvent. That's the one for wealthy people. I think the tickets are like $1,000 each. I don't go to that one. I go to the free event that they have in New York. They have one in New York every summer. It's free. It's actually a lot of fun. And if you're certified, they give you these little pins. So these, like, your certified pins, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's AWS Certified Associate. And they kind of give you one every year, but this was my first pin that I got. So it's very special to me. I think I have a bunch of them that I've lost, but this one, it's my first one. I've managed to hang on to this one. I can, like, pin it on my shirt and be, you know, really pretentious with it. Like, I'm certified in AWS, don't speak to me, because whatever. But yeah, that was my experience the first time taking my test. I think it was a false sense of confidence maybe, because I probably didn't study as much as I should have in the other tests, the other exams that I've taken. So now I have a better game plan, and now that everyone's home, I don't think any of those testing centers are open, so they're gonna be online. You take them at home and they're proctored, so that's gonna be a whole other experience. So I'm planning on taking one in the next couple of weeks, so I'll share that experience as well. So yeah, thank you for coming back. Please give it a try. It's, you know, it's not as nerve-wracking as I've made it out to be. You know, go take the test. If you pass, great. If you don't, I still love you. And I think my suggestion would be start with the Cloud Practitioner exam and then go into the Associate's exams. They didn't have the Cloud Practitioner exam when I was kind of getting into being certified, and it's a great entryway exam. It's like a good roundup of all the different services, what they do, billing. It's not as in depth as the associate level exams, and they do get you ready for, you know, the Cloud Practitioner gets you ready for the associate level exam. So I would suggest, you know, go search for some resources. I'll link some of my favorites again in the description. And yeah, you know, until next time, please, please, please make sure that you're registered to vote. Stay hydrated in this society that we're living, and, you know, wear your seatbelts. Bye.